Travis Guiley here, ISHI Central, and we are speaking with
Dr. Claire Glynn from the University of New Haven.
Dr. Claire, University of New Haven?
Yeah, up in Connecticut, up in the
Connecticut.
Northeast.
Do you know what? We're just going to get off on another tangent. I lived in New Haven.
New Haven, that's where I live.
No way!
Yes, best pizza in the world.
Okay, I don't remember that. I don't remember how many pizzas I had. I did eat good there. But this is the thing I remember about Connecticut.
Uh-huh.
I was driving down 17 lanes of highway. I don't
Yes.
know how many they are, down to the University, Yale, right?
Yale, yeah.
So my wife was working at Yale, and I'm on this giant highway, and I must be going 10 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Yeah.
And an ambulance is coming to pass me, so I pulled over and got honked at because I slowed down for the ambulance.
Ridiculous.
And there were people in lanes beyond the
Yes.
ambulance who were passing the ambulance.
Yes.
I'm
It
like,
happened.
how could you be in more of a hurry than the ambulance driver?
It's because
I
it's
don't
such
get
a
it.
hub and so many ambulances come into that
Yeah,
area
maybe.
that people that live there are just done with it. And they're like, I've got places to go too, you
Yes.
know. But I always pull over and
Yes,
I always
it's very
wait.
kind. It's very kind because what if it's your loved one?
Exactly,
I want the parting of the
exactly.
Red Seas. I want everybody off the road.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, that's not what we're here to talk about. But from New Haven, Connecticut, out there, North
Yeah.
Haven, Connecticut. Tell me about what you do out there, doctor.
So I'm an associate professor of
Okay.
forensic science in the Henry C. Lee College of Criminal Justice and Forensic Sciences. So Henry's the captain of our ship, Dr.
Okay.
Lee. Wonderful place to work. I've been there since 2014, so I'm in my 8th year there now, which is kind of shocking. If you can't tell by the accent, I come from Ireland, so across the pond.
I probably would have guessed.
And I came over for that job, you know, moved here
Really?
to the US for the job at the University of New Haven. And I told myself I'll give it a year. If I don't like it, I'll move elsewhere or I'll go back to Ireland. But I've adopted a dog and bought a house, so I must like it. Right?
Yeah, you're in now.
I'm settled now. So it's a wonderful place to work and live. I have terrific colleagues, some of the most experienced forensic scientists in the world, and just terrific opportunities come our way. So it's really a pleasure to work there.
Tell me about those opportunities. What opportunities do you get that come your way?
Well, the opportunities that the university gives us,
Sure.
right, and even just being associated with Dr. Lee means that we're always at the forefront of new technologies, new things that are happening, new techniques. And we've created some of the most innovative graduate and undergraduate programs that exist in the forensic community.
Okay.
So our undergraduate program, our BS in forensic science, is the largest program in the country. We have about 650 to 700 undergrads just in that program. I know, people always get amazed at that number.
I mean, are there other universities that are even doing this? Or is this...
Not at that number, no. I
Okay.
think the next largest undergraduate program would have about 150. So by
Wow.
far we have the most. And then we have an expert team of full-time faculty, you know, that cover all of the disciplines of forensic science, from toxicology to drug analysis to wildlife forensics to trace evidence to bone DNA analysis to forensic biology, forensic genetic genealogy, which is what I do. And so, as you asked, what are the terrific opportunities?
Yeah.
Well, the university let me, whenever I came to them 2 years ago, with an idea and said, listen, there's this brand new field of forensic genetic genealogy. It is busting open cold cases left, right, and center. I have been doing genetic genealogy for years as a hobby. I've been doing genealogy for probably 20 years. It was one of those things I was always kind of embarrassed about.
Yeah, you just weren't telling anybody that you're looking up family trees and finding
It's
people
kind of
in your family.
assumed that it's like, you know, for an older person
Yeah,
and a retired
yeah, okay.
and that kind of thing. And then whenever, you know, the Golden State Killer was announced, I was like, oh my God, my two worlds have collided.
Yeah.
And just a few years before that, just a couple of years before that, I had actually solved my own adoption. Through genetic genealogy. Yeah, it was like, wow.
You knew you were adopted?
I knew I was
Okay,
adopted, yeah,
okay.
all my life. And
Oh
I
my
had
gosh.
met and revealed who my biological mother was through the normal means of, you know, documents
Okay.
and reaching out to places,
Sure.
but I didn't know my paternal side. And so then in, I think it was 2015, I figured that out using genetic genealogy and direct-to-consumer tests, which was just phenomenal. So from that point forward, I started doing helping people with their own adoption cases, a lot in Ireland as well, because there was a lot of adoptions back in the 60s and 70s and 80s because of the Catholic Church, and if you weren't married, you were sent away, you know. So whenever the Golden State Killer was announced, to me this was like, this is my two worlds colliding, my hobby and my kind of secret passion almost, and my career of forensic DNA analysis and forensic biology. And so when I went to the university and said, listen, this new field, I can create a program of study that we can teach the next generation of people how to do this. And they let me do it. And we just finished our first cohort of the program. So it's a graduate certificate.
Okay.
It's 4 courses, 3 credits each, so 12 credits total. And you join as a cohort, right? It's a group of people that work through the whole program together. And so it starts in January of every year. We just completed our first cohort of the program a few weeks ago with amazing success. I just couldn't have asked for better success, better students, better outcomes. And next year is just going to be even bigger and better. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, it's a slightly niche place, right?
Exactly.
So I would feel like the students you'd be getting are super passionate about it and wanting
and all
to be a part
adult
of this.
learners, you know. I'm not dealing with 18-year-olds
Right.
here, which is a refreshing change. But they're mostly adult learners. The average age is people in their 40s and up. So I'm probably the youngest person in the program. And it's people that have, it's kind of a mixture, right, of backgrounds. This past year, about 65% of the cohort were people already working in crime labs, people, death investigators, CODIS administrators, crime lab directors, that kind of thing, DNA analysts in crime labs. And the other, whatever remaining is, of 35% or so, 40%, they were amateur genealogists or even 1 or 2 professional genealogists who want to make this now their career. And so it was such a wonderful mix of people that they were all learning from each other and helping each other out. And really what I loved the most about the whole experience was the camaraderie between them and the lifelong friendships that have been made as well, and the job opportunities they're creating for each other as well, which is just absolutely outstanding. But also I have to, you know, thank our industry partners as well that have helped us through this, because the 4th course in the program is the Forensic Genetic Genealogy Practicum, which is the final course in the program. And it's not a traditional course where there's lectures or anything like that or coursework. It's put what you've learned into practice and solve a case. And so it can either be a mock case that I'll give them of here's a Jane or John Doe, here's a GEDmatch kit number that I've created, and go out and find out who this person is, identify them. And we've had amazing success in those mock cases. But we also had industry partners and collaborators like the DNA Doe project and also Bodhi Technology, who took some students in as interns and guided them through the process and helped them along with learning this process and actually applying the skills to real cases, which was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
I'm loving this. And then to be here at ISHI and have those entities here as well to be a part of this.
It's been amazing. Because, I mean, everyone, literally everyone that I've been working with for the last 1.5 to 2 years to get this program up and running and being more involved in the forensic genetic genealogy community or investigative genetic genealogy community. I use both terms. I'm easy with both. I've only ever met them through email or through a Zoom window. And now to be like, oh my God, it's nice to see the bottom 3/4 of you. You know?
And almost half of your face.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And just you know, having more casual conversations. And honestly, I could honestly say that this has been the most valuable conference that I've ever attended. And I've attended dozens of conferences, right? Throughout my career, internationally and throughout the US and regional ones as well. But just the conversations that we've all been having, everyone that's part of this, all the vendors, all the presenters and speakers, and then the attendees, these amazing conversations where we're like, yes, let's all come together. Let's bring this field forward. Let's make sure it sustains. it's exactly what we all want, and now we're all together doing it, you know,
Yeah.
which is phenomenal.
And I want to say thank you for being a part of this world and, you know, being so passionate
Thank
about it.
you.
Because it's greatly appreciated just to know that, you know, people out there are being helped,
Yes,
right?
of
I mean,
course.
and I think that's the main draw to it,
Yes,
right?
right.
And people really want to help people.
Yeah.
It feels really good to do those kind of things.
It is. Well, that's why I love this so
Yeah.
much, right? I used to work in the UK for LGC Forensics as a forensic biologist, and that was all major crime, homicides and sexual assaults. Worked on over 1,000 cases while I was there, and I loved that, right? I loved being involved and having my hands dirty and using science to serve justice.
Yes.
And then I went to academia, and I was like, it's now my turn to give back
Yeah.
and to teach the next generation and teach them my skills and my knowledge and make my classes and my labs real life like. And make sure that they are aware of the field they're getting into and what it's truly like and not what it's like on TV, right?
Yeah.
But then through and for years while at the University of New Haven, I've consulted on and off on real cases, right? But it's usually me just giving advice to defense attorneys and reviewing case files. Now with Forensic Genetic Genealogy, I'm back into getting my hands dirty because I get asked to consult on cases now, where agencies will call me up looking for advice, and I'll be like, right, well, what have you got? How much DNA? What's the degradation index? How much quant have you got? What's the volume of your extract that you have? We need to do this whole genome or SNP array. Then get me the file or upload it to GEDmatch Pro and give me the kit number, and I'm back active working while also in academia. So, I mean, I have the best job in the world, I think.
It seems